How would you describe Javier tonight? He's pitched a game like this before with a no-hitter, but just with just 2 pitches that they just had no clue. Seems like they couldn't catch up to.
Well, I don't know. He was electric, and he threw the ball up, down, and that shows you that the best pitch in baseball is still a well-located fastball. And he was calm and cool, and Cristian Vázquez called a great game for him. And I think that's the first time I've seen 2 guys with the same first name as a battery. So maybe that was part of it.
We got Clinton right in the middle, Dusty, 3rd row.
Pretty emotional swing from last night to tonight.
Yeah.
What does that do for your squad, knowing you're going to get one more back home now?
Well, I mean, that's what we were coming here trying to, take it back home. I mean, you want to win them all, but, we realize how tough these guys, have been in this ballpark. And in reality, when you go on the road, if you can win 2 out of 3, then you've had a pretty good series. So it's a big series tomorrow before we head back home. We know that they have a great offensive club over there, and they got a lot of energy in this ballpark. And so it's a strange series. I mean, they hit 5 home runs yesterday, and then no hits today. I mean, this is a daily game and filled with daily emotions.
Greg, up front to your right, Dusty.
Yes.
Dusty, maybe just a little bit more on Javier, not just doing what he did, but the situation. You're down 2-1 in this series. A lot hinges on tonight. What kind of context does that add to his performance for you?
Well, to me, like I had heard an interview by Joe Torre that Game 4 is a pivotal game in a 7-game series, and that's why we kind of wanted Javi pitching that. That 4th game. And, the guy was cool as if it was June or July. And, that's how he is. And I was glad that I heard his mom and dad were here from Dominican and got to see him pitch. And, it's always great when you do something in front of your folks. And, this is a world stage here. People from all over the world are watching this, and he certainly put himself on the map.
James, a little bit further back to your right.
Hey, Dusty, there's been 3 no-hitters in the postseason history. Back here. What's up?
Hey, Jay.
And you've been in the dugout for 2 of them. What do you think of that, and what do you remember of 2010 and Roy Halladay and being on the other end of that result?
Well, yeah, I was on the other end in this ballpark. I mean, that's what's strange about life. And I remember being on the other end of that. It was the 7th inning, and seemed like it was the 2nd inning. And I looked up on the board in the 7th inning already, and then you're trying not to be no hit, and then you're trying to win the ball game, and that's pretty remarkable. I've been on both ends and here for 2 out of 3.
Young lady about 6 rows back on your left.
Dusty, you guys threw the first combined no-hitter in World Series history. Can you talk about how Javier's performance helped fuel the offense tonight?
Well, yeah. I mean, Nola was dealing on the other side too. Until we broke loose. With some consecutive hits, which have been eluding us. Got a couple key RBI hits. It was a big one for. You're down to get hit, to score our first run, because we hadn't scored in, 14 innings or something like that, 15 innings, whatever it was. So it was just good to, push that first run across the plate. But, combined no-hitters, that's hard to do, because usually somebody's going to give it up, during that no-hitter. And so, all our guys were poised and ready and strong, and that's one reason why I didn't use some of those guys in that game to try to salvage that game last night, because I wanted them to be fresh for today, and they'll be relatively fresh tomorrow.